We have to make sure that we have a few dependencies installed before we can actually install an Angular 4 project. So first is Node.js along with the Node Package Manager, and then also the Angular command line interface. Now, to check whether or not you have Node.js installed, we want to visit the console or the command line and simply type in node-v. All right, so you can see mine is version 6.9.4, but if yours is not installed, it will say it's an unrecognized command. Now, if this is the case, you want to head on over to nodejs.org. We'll click on Downloads, and then depending on your current operating system, whether that's Windows or Macintosh, mine is Windows, you want to click it. And then once it is done downloading, we'll go ahead and launch the installer. And we'll hit Next. Accept the terms. Choose to leave it here at the current folder or change the installation directory if you want. And then also we could see by default we had the npm package manager ready to be installed. So then we could just hit Next and then install. Now once it has finished, go ahead and close down your command line or your console and reload it. Then you can run the above command one more time and it will give you the version number instead of it being an unrecognized command. Okay, so now that we have that done, what we also want to do is install the Angular command line interface or the Angular CLI. If you visit the official site for it, which is cli.angular.io, it will give you some more information about this tool, but in a nutshell, it allows you to quickly install an Angular 4 project, and also it gives you some handy command line tools that will aid you in the development of your Angular 4 app. Okay, so to install, we see right here has a command. Very simply, it's using the Node Package Manager, npm, to install globally, which is -g, the Angular CLI. All right, so let's go ahead and run that command. And by the way, to know whether or not you actually have that installed, we simply run ng-v. And of course, it is installed for me. So now what we want to do is run that command, npm install -g for global. And when you add -g, that installs it globally on your machine. So you only have to run this once. You won't have to run it every single time you try to start a project. And let's go ahead and hit enter. All right, and once it's finished, don't worry about any of these warnings if they do show up for you. All right, so now we're ready to install an Angular 4 project with the command line interface. So I'm going to hop into my code folders, and you can really put this anywhere you want, wherever you want to store your projects. And now to start a new project with the command line interface, it's very simple. ng, new, and then the name of the project. So we'll just call this ng4-playground and hit enter. All right, now once that is finished, we'll go ahead and cd into the name of the project that we created. So cd ng4-playground. All right, and now if we want to check what version of Angular it actually installed, we can type, once we're inside of the project folder, ng-v once more, and this time it's going to provide us with all the versions of the Angular core and their packages. So we could see, for me, it's 2.4. So this is installing an Angular 2 project, and that's because the Angular command line interface hasn't yet integrated or installed Angular 4, and that's because I'm doing this pretty early on. It's March 21st, and so if you run this, you may find that yours is already installing an Angular 4 project. If that's the case, then you don't need to do the next step, which is to install or upgrade this Angular 2 project to a 4 project. So to do that, we can go ahead and visit the github.com/angular/angular blob master and changelog.md, and this will give you tips on how to upgrade or install an Angular 4 project here before its official release. So if you're on a Linux or Mac, then you run this command, which is right here. You copy all of this, and you simply copy and then go back to your command line and paste that in. If you're on Windows like I am, we take this, we'll copy that, we'll go back, We'll right click. I'm going to paste that and then hit enter. All right, and now that that is done, let me clear this real quick. And we'll go back to that page here. And we also have to make sure that you're using TypeScript version 2.1.6 or higher. So what you need to do to install that is run npm install TypeScript at 2.2.1 and save it. And once finished, now we can type in ng-v, and it will show that we're now working within an Angular 4 project. Okay, at this point, you can simply run ng-serve, and it will launch a development server at localhost 4200, which you can visit in your browser. And there we go, app works. So that's how you launch and install an Angular 4 app using the Angular command line interface. Now, what if you wanted to install it without the CLI? Well, you can also use git clone to clone the official quickstart. Now, the quickstart currently, at the time of recording this, is simply based on Angular 2, but we can still use that same process to upgrade the quickstart to an Angular 4. So just to show you how to do that real quickly, we're going to back up a folder real quick. And so I'm in my main projects code folder. And what we want to do is run a git clone command. And I will paste that in. So it's git clone. And then here's the URL of the quickstart. And then we're going to name the project quickstart here at the end. So I'll make this quickstart 2 because I believe I already did install one at quickstart. And then we simply cd into it. All right, and then we run npm install, and that will take a look at everything that is in the package.json file and install it. And once complete, we can check out the version with ng-v, and we'll see, it's based on a 2.4 project of Angular. So what we would have to do is to run those npm install commands that we pasted or copied and pasted, and then that will upgrade it to an Angular 4 project. And because we're not using the CLI for this quick start, you can't use ng-serve. Instead, you would use npm start. Once we do that, it will launch a browser at localhost 3000. All right. So that's how you install an Angular 4 project, both with the command line interface tool and also without it.